That's a great question, actually. These are great questions.
You just gotta keep
Beautiful.
on.
I love that. This is the most important skill that if people can accept it and go through the pain of doing it, you will learn faster than anybody else and your skill level will improve faster. Change, growth, these are painful pursuits. They hurt. Sales is a period of pain, discomfort, and failure, which is going to lead to your skills improving. Most people want to spend money on things that bring them pleasure,
Hmm.
nice food, drinks, experiences. When someone is prepared to spend money for pain, I respect that person because they want growth.
You can just change your entire life in just one moment when you realize that, yeah, man, that's it.
You have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I happy with where I'm at? Is this the best that I can do? Latif, most people are so used to breaking the promises they make to themselves. Like, I'm going to start on Monday. I'm
Exactly.
going to,
Exactly.
right? So you need help starting to keep those promises. Eventually, you're going to keep them all. But in the early phases, the first 3 months, the first 6 months, that's the danger zone where everybody starts and everybody falls off. So that's where a coach can help.
Any top your advice, the person who's been going through many things and who's hit the rock bottom and who have seen no light anywhere, is kind of in like dark tunnel with no hope. How did he
Yeah.
get up? How did he get up from that?
So this is going to be my advice to that person. Okay. This is what I want you to do.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the XploVerse podcast. In today's episode, we have Josh with us, who's a sales professional and a mindset coach. So, without any further ado, let's welcome Josh on the stage. Josh, thanks for joining in, man.
How are you?
I'm good. How
Hey,
are
my
you?
pleasure. Thanks for having me, man.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm doing
So,
I'm doing great today, man. How about you?
yeah, I'm doing all good, all good, all fine. The day's been
Excellent.
great. And so, how's the weather at your end? All good?
Yeah, I live in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and it's getting cold, my friend. It's getting cold, you know?
Yeah, Canada is super cold and it will get super cold. I get it
Oh
all the
yeah.
times.
I mean, it
So,
gets nice in the summertime. It's beautiful, but this is the time where we stay indoors, you know?
yeah, that happens. That happens. So, Josh, I was just going through your whole story, and I was amazed by the like a 180-degree shift from being a sales rep and to the VP of the sales rep, and then to the mind coach section and all that. We'll come through this later. First, let's start with your a little bit of background story. How did you brought up? How did you end up being a sales rep? So, how's your overall a little bit quick intro?
Yeah, 100%. So growing up, I never knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to be all these things. But once I became a young adult, I wasn't sure. And I was working a job that I hated in a cubicle environment. And I'm dating myself a little bit, Atif, but I was reading a newspaper and I saw an ad that said, would you like a job with unlimited income? Something like that. And I thought, well, that sounds interesting. Sure. So I called and got an interview and went in and realized it was a sales job. And so I took the job. And within a few weeks, I knew this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm good at. And so I really leaned into that as a profession for 24 years. I've really put myself into sales and I've moved up the line and had a lot of success in my career. But recently, as I was coming up towards my 50th birthday, I began to wonder if my destiny is to just be a better salesperson every year until I'm ready to retire, or if
Mm.
there's more to life than that. And I realized that, and I'm sure we'll get into this, but I began to learn some different things and I improved my life in a lot of different ways. And I thought, I think I would enjoy teaching other people all of the things that I've learned. And
Mm.
so I started a coaching practice, but I actually do both, Atif. So I still am a full-time salesperson and I'm a coach and someone that's on social media as well. So I'm working basically around the clock right now.
Okay, okay. So you are doing right. Yeah, the both things at the same time. So
You
sounds good.
got it.
Sounds.
I love work though. I love work, so it's fine.
Yeah, the best part about doing when you enjoy your work, so it's not a work anymore. So it's just like a part of your daily life, and it's just, it's just a part of you basically. That's how it is.
Precisely. You
That's how.
got it. And part of what I do with coaching is around sales. So the skills that I've acquired in my sales career are extremely valuable to people that are interested in sales, but also people that are just looking to improve their communication skills and their negotiation skills with the people in their lives or with an employer. These skills are really valuable. So it pays off me still doing that job while also being a coach. And I really enjoy both. So
Right. So let's first start with the sales thing, just quickly,
mhm,
and then we'll dig deep down into the whole kind of coaching practice of how you do that and
got it.
how you'll shift that. So you do the sales and you still do the sales. So basically, sales around which, around the digital products or around the software packages, or uh, how it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, you got it. So that first job that I was mentioning before, that was in recruiting. So I was helping people find jobs. And interestingly, I was helping software companies, like startup software companies, hire salespeople. And as I was doing this, I realized, boy, this sounds like a lot of fun selling technology, selling software products. And I was beginning to get to know a lot of these people. And I thought, I can do this. And so after I did that job for a few years, I transitioned to selling products. And then I got into technology and software. And so that's what I sell today. I sell training software platforms as well as different types of services to large companies. So the deals are big, six-figure deals,
Mhm.
and it's complex sales. So 3 to 6 month sales cycles, lots of different stakeholders. So it's not like, online closing, that sort of
Mhm.
thing. This is more sort of professional grade B2B style selling.
Yeah, when you are dealing with the B2B, so it will like a more like a lengthy cycle. It will go to months and back and forth and all the meeting and kind of stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that sound interesting. Interesting. So what is the major one thing that you think that lacks in the sales perspective? What is the
Yeah.
major one thing that people lack most of the times?
That's a great question, actually. And I'll tell you what I think that it is, okay? And it's going to be a little bit not intuitive because people think, what's that one killer skill that I need, Josh? How do I become a
Hmm.
better negotiator, a closer? People ask these kinds of questions. But actually, the the thing that's missing from most people, Atif, is a willingness to examine their failures. So in the game of sales, especially when you're new, 2, 3, 4 years into the profession, you are going to fail a lot. But people try and avoid failure for one. So we call this in the business like phone reluctance. So people don't want to make the calls because they're worried about what may happen, that they're going to get rejected. So people are trying to avoid failure. And when they do fail, they're trying to move past it as quickly as possible. So I had a bad experience. I thought I was going to close the deal. It didn't work out. Let me move on to the next one. The next one's going to be better.
Hmm.
The issue is that the greatest lessons that we are going to learn in sales and in life actually come through our failures, not our successes. Because
Exactly.
when you know this, right? When you're successful, there's almost like a feeling like, of course, I'm successful. And so that's what happens. And you don't dig deep into the reasons why. What happened? What did I do wrong? You don't have to look in the mirror and accept the fact that you probably made some mistakes. So failure gives us this incredible opportunity to do that. The issue is it's very painful. It's very painful to think back on our failures, but I'm telling you, this is the most important skill that if people can accept it and go through the pain of doing it, you will learn faster than anybody else and your skill level will improve faster.
Exactly. That's great. That's really a great perspective, and I totally acknowledge that this is one of the things which most of the people, they just don't look back and they don't just reflect that, yeah, man, why I failed at the first place. Instead of just moving to the next destination and moving to on to the next destination, they have to look back and see why I failed as well. That's quite wonderful. And from this, there is one more question which just came to my mind, that I've heard a lot of people that in the sales, who are in the sales industry or in common, that how do you handle rejections? Because most of the time I heard that, yeah, man, it's so much tough doing sales calls all the day. And how do you handle such kind of pressure where you are just getting lots of rejection, 100 rejections a day? So how do you handle such kind of pressure?
Yeah.
Or how do you build up
You
the
know
muscle?
what? That's it. How do you know what it is? It's not even so much the muscle. That's you're on the right track though. To me, it's callousing yourself, right? So it's developing a callus for anybody that works out in the gym. At first your hands hurt, but then
Hmm.
after a while you begin to develop the calluses and it becomes easier, right? On your hands. And it's the same in sales. There's no easy way when you're new in the game. You have to get reps under your belt. So you have to go in. This is what I say to anyone that's new. Go in and just grunt through it. Just make the calls, fall flat on your face, feel awkward, feel like a failure, and keep going every single day. Just keep going, and you will hit a point. For some people, it'll be a few weeks. For some people, it'll be a few months, but you
Hmm.
will hit a point where you don't care as much. And then you can keep moving forward. And then if you couple it, Atif, with the reflection, if with the reflection on that failure, your level will improve faster than you can imagine. And then something interesting will happen. You will get less rejection and you will be able to handle the rejection you get better. And then you're on your way.
That's good. That's quite wonderful, and that's how it should be. But it reminds me
Yes,
of the
sir.
same. It reminds me of the same entrepreneurial cycle that first you have like uninformed pessimism, and then you have the informed pessimism, and then the despair valley. But most of the people just quit at the despair valley. But right after that, there is a hope. There is a new sunrise, and so you just gotta keep
Beautiful.
on.
I love that.
You
You
just
got it. And it's the same in everything, right? But sales, it's in your face because when you first start, you don't know what you're doing. And again, you've been taught to avoid rejection your whole life, so it's extremely painful. And people will normally throw in the towel. Most people that get into sales drop out within a year or 2 years. But if you can just keep going, as you said, that despair valley, it traps everybody,
Yeah,
right?
correct,
But it's
correct,
right on the other
correct.
side of it.
Right on the other side. Correct. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I
And
love
I
it.
think I think most of the people just just lose their heart because of maybe their kind of upbringing, that they are kind of in like a safe environment where they never faced any type of rejection. But when they just enter into the sales, then the reality just hit their face, and then they are like, man, that's the reality.
You
Absolutely
got it.
wonderful.
And I do think that that is an issue with a lot of people these days and again, it's a natural human thing to do. We try
Hmm.
and avoid failure, right? But
Hmm.
if you can just realize that it's literally the only way to get better, right? Like if you ever played sports as a child, when you first tried to dribble a basketball or when you first tried to play soccer or whatever the sport is, cricket, you're no good, right? You have to learn how to do it. And it's fun when you're in sports. Maybe it's not as fun when you're making phone calls all day, but you have to go through that pain period. It's just there's no way around it.
And how do you like relate sales to like coaching thing? What's the like the midpoint?
These are great questions. So this is the midpoint. When someone is prepared to hire a coach, it is because they know that they need to change, right? Change, growth, these are painful pursuits. They hurt. So when someone hires a coach, they are saying, I am prepared to bring on pain and discomfort in order to get to the next level, which is the same as sales. Sales is a period of pain, discomfort, and failure, which is going to lead to your skills improving, your capacity, and it's exponential in sales, right? As you get more experienced, I've been doing it for close to 25 years now. I can say this. I'm a Jedi master when it comes to sales, right? I
Mm.
know I can spot things early in the conversation. I know how to steer the conversation in the right direction. But that was learned over 24 years. It's difficult at first. So that's the inflection point when people are prepared to go through coaching. They know I'm not just paying this person to make it easy on myself. I am paying them to help me get through the difficulty that I know I must get through in order to get my result. And I'm prepared to put my own money down. Most people want to spend money on things that bring them pleasure,
Hmm.
nice food, drinks, experiences. When someone is prepared to spend money for pain, I respect that person because they want growth and I want to help them.
Exactly, exactly. Because this is the most hardest part, that you are paying paying, and you are, like, inviting the pain to yourself.
Hey, you know what, Atif? I have a client right now who's already paid me, and he keeps dragging his heels on the kickoff call because he keeps saying, "Josh, I'm not ready. I'm ready, but I'm not ready." And I keep telling him, "Hey, at some point you're going to need to step through the doorway, and we're going to start, right?" But he knows, that it has to get to that point. And so, Atif, what it is much like someone getting into sales. Usually people get into sales because they want to make more money. They're not
Hmm.
happy with the money they make in their regular job. So eventually you get to a point where you're dissatisfied with your income. Okay, now I'm ready for the pain of sales because I want to make more money. It's the same with coaching. You're overweight, you drink too much, you're not as successful as you want. You need to get to the point where you've had enough, maybe it's rock bottom for you, then you're prepared to take the painful steps towards getting a coach. So really, I see a lot of similarities in the journey people have to go through.
Exactly, exactly. And for anybody who's listening, you might be wondering that, I don't know sales. I don't have any kind of background in sales, but I do want to learn sales. So for those kind of person, what do you recommend? What are the starting steps to get into it?
Yeah, this is a great question, and it's going to be different for everybody. But this is what I recommend. The most important thing is you need to enjoy working with other people. So
Hmm.
that would be the first thing is, do you enjoy working with other people? If the
Beautiful.
answer is no, yeah, if the answer is no, do something else. I'm sorry, sales is not for you because sales is a social game. It's a game of people, right? Now, if you have that basic criteria that you enjoy working with people, I promise you, you can get an entry level job in almost any industry because companies are desperate for salespeople
Hmm.
and they will look for talent. So they are not looking for experience. They are looking for someone that has the personality, the aptitude. So bring your personality into these interviews. Realize you are going to get rejected from some. So this is your first lesson in sales, but take an entry level sales job with a company that is committed to offering training.
Hmm.
That training is going to be the difference for you. If you go in with a positive attitude every day that you want to learn and you're going to try what you learn in the live environment and you're prepared to fail, you will learn quickly. And then you can begin to follow people like myself, where I do a lot of vlogging on my Instagram page multiple times per week. I share sales tips that are very valuable for people. You can start getting into the different books. I have a reading list that I share with my clients. So there's a lot of ways that we can go, but that's the first step, Atif. Get in there, start doing it, start failing and learning.
Absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. It is like you summarize the whole crux of it, that you love what you do with the people. That's the
Yes.
first step. And I think this is the most missing step in most of the times. Because when you ask someone, yeah, yeah, I want to learn sales, then they go into the technical stuff first. But they forget that the basic core of that you have to love, enjoy working with other people. Absolutely love
Yeah.
it. Absolutely love it, man.
And you know what else, Atif? You have to, this is something that I love to say, okay? Because people sometimes think sales, oh, these people are slimy. They're trying to make money.
Mm,
What a really a real salesperson is a problem solver. So you have to want to engage with other people, understand their problems, right? So let's understand if you have this problem. And if so, I'm going to convince you that I can help you solve that problem. So you have to like working with people and you have to be curious about what they're struggling with and want to try and help them. If you're motivated in this way, you can be successful in this profession because you will learn and grow towards being better at those things. But if you're missing those qualities, it's going to be hard for you.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I think this is one of the core thing which led to people trust you. Because
Yes.
if you are a problem solver, if you genuinely tries to solve the pain points of the problem, then obviously they start to trust you, and this is the core of the sales. You have to build, you have to develop the trust. Absolutely love
You've
it, man.
you
Absolutely love it.
you've got it. You know what? You've got to develop the trust. And I'll tell you another way that is great for trust building, and that is being honest with people. So what
Hmm.
I do when I go into a first call with someone, the attitude that I have is I want to see if this person is not appropriate for what I sell. So I go in asking questions, trying to disqualify them. So, I'm trying to understand the details. And if they're not a fit, I'll actually highlight that and say, I'm actually concerned about this because you said
Hmm.
this is important. This may be something that we're not aligned on. And what will normally happen is the person will say, actually, that's not that big a deal. Maybe it'll be fine. So you will get to the heart of what they actually need. And this is massive for trust building because most salespeople, you know what they try and do is they just try and tell you what they think you want to hear. So
Hmm.
you're looking for a solution to a problem. Oh yeah, we do that. We do that. Oh, we're the best at that. We can definitely help you. Whereas if you go in saying things like, actually, if that's important to you, I'm not sure we're the best partner, people really trust you then. Because and I get that sometimes where people will almost begin pursuing me because they trust me so much because I'm willing to be honest with them. And from time to time we agree this is not a good fit, and then they thank me profusely. Thank you so much for being honest and helping me realize that you're not a right fit. Really appreciate it. And then maybe they'll give me a referral sometime. They'll tell someone else about me. So again, there's some counterintuitive things that I teach people, but it all comes down. You said the magic words, trust. We need to build trust with someone as quickly as possible so they know that we really care about them, and helping them.
Absolutely, absolutely love that. And it reminds me that you need to have that kind of personality that it's not kind of sugar coated, and just not, you just gotta be honest with the people. You have to tell them honestly instead of just overcommitment and sugar coating and all that kind of stuff. So that's absolutely wonderful. And
You
let's.
know what? Let me just comment quickly on that and say you are absolutely right. Like you want to bring in your
Mm,
personality should be one of happy, problem solving, curious, interested, right? But you want to immediately be as real as possible as well. So it's both. You want to come in there with the right energy, can
mm.
do energy, but then you want to be as honest as possible. That is a lethal combination that people will really enjoy and respect.
Love that. Love that. Totally agree with that. So, George, just quickly, let's shift to the your coaching practice. And
Yes.
I was just looking to your Instagram reels as well. So it was kind of like a mindset beliefs or something like that. So I would like to explore that as well. That how does
Yes.
it works and what you teach basically in your coaching
So
practice.
thank you for this. And so, yeah, I mentioned the story, Atif, about getting to the point of wondering, is sales what it is for me, or do I want to teach other
Mm.
people? Leading up to my 50th birthday, I made a lot of changes in my life. So if you saw my reels, you noticed that I went through a physical transformation. I
Yeah,
got into
correct.
great shape. I dropped a lot of weight. I gave up all my vices, alcohol, drugs, partying, all the things that were getting in the way of my life. And I've become so happy in this process that I just thought, I have to teach people this. My area of genius professionally is sales, but I can teach people how to get their life in order and clean up their bad habits. And this is actually the most valuable thing that I've ever done for myself. So I thought, I need to teach people this. And what I say is that we all have the same purpose in this life. And I think that this is a challenge. Most people are thinking, what is my purpose? What am I on this earth to do? Is it my job? Is it to be a good parent or a good, child to my parents? Your purpose, your job in this world is to build the best version of yourself. That
Absolutely.
is your primary purpose. If you accomplish this goal, you are going to be happy, you are going to be successful, you are going to be excited with your life, and then your secondary purpose will become evident to you. And it's probably to help other people, to guide others, to do something noble and good in this world. Because when you can build that sort of self love, self respect, self trust that comes through building yourself, you become an incredible operator in this world. And so I want to put the call out to everybody that's watching or listening today to your podcast. Make it your ambition, your life's work to just build the best version of you. Be honest about the habits that are holding you back. Let's change those. We can change them. And that's what I help my clients do. Change those habits, put in the good habits, and get on the right path.
That's super inspiring, man. That's super helpful. And I absolutely love that. And you just mentioned your transformation, and I was just kind of, eager to ask you about that. That how was that transformation was like? What led you to that? Is it some sort of belief shift? Is it some sort of, trigger point, or how it triggers that?
Yeah, that's the right question. So it was, and I think that this is it for everybody, right? We have to hit rock bottom.
Hmm.
And it doesn't mean you need to wake up in an alley somewhere, with a needle in your arm. That's not what I'm talking about. But you have to get to a point, and the way that you do this is you have to be honest with yourself. So you have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I happy with where I'm at? Is this the best that I can do? And
So,
sometimes age will help with that because you're getting to a certain age, or perhaps you did something that made you feel bad, like you were a bad example to someone in your life or a child or your child. So you have to be honest with yourself about where you're coming up short. And that's what happened for me. So I woke up one morning, and I'll tell you the honest truth. I'd had too much alcohol and I'd smoked too much marijuana the day before. And I woke up and I felt awful, terrible. And I just said, that's it. I'm done. I am done. I'm going to start training. I'm going to fix my diet. No more vices. I'm I'm getting rid of all of it. And I swear to you, overnight I dropped everything and I changed. And it took me 6 months to go from out of shape and flabby to being ripped at age 50, by the way. So for your audience, if you're 20, 30, 40, it's going to be easy for you compared to me. All right.
totally love that. Totally love that, man. Totally love that. Totally love your energy. And it means that you can just change your entire life in just one moment when you realize that, yeah, man, that's it. You don't need hundreds of motivation stuff. You don't need hundreds of motivational speeches and coaches and gurus to tell you that. It's just one moment that it just flipped, and you can just say, yeah, man, that's it. I'm done. I can do that.
You said it. You flip the switch. But the only way you can flip the switch is you have to be honest. There are people out
Exactly.
here that are 100 pounds overweight that are not being honest. They are saying, oh, I need to drop a little bit of weight, but it's not that important. No, it's very important because the best version of you isn't 100 pounds overweight. So we must change it. Or there's someone that's waking up with a hangover and they're saying, it's no big deal. I've got my kid's birthday today, but I'll just pop a few Tylenol and I'll be fine. No, that's not the best version of you. You're not bringing the right energy into that birthday party for your child. You need to do better. And I will say this, Atif, I've been a customer of coaches for about 7 years now.
Mhm.
And it's the reason that I got into coaching because it's one thing to be honest and decide that you must change, but the hardest part is implementing the change. It's not even having a game plan like, okay, this is what I'm going to eat and this is how I'm going to work out. It's actually the following through day after day after day. When you wake up, you don't feel like it. Your leg hurts. You didn't get enough sleep last night. You have a big meeting today, whatever, and you still have to show up and do the work. That's the hardest part for people. That's where a coach can help because, yeah, I'll give you a plan. Plan's easy. The accountability is
Mhm.
what you need. You need me reaching out to you a few times per week saying, hey, you're not tracking your calories. What's going on? Hey, How's the workouts going? I didn't see you log your workouts the other day. That works. And you couple it with making an investment in a coach. When someone puts money into it, you are going to take it more seriously when you invest. You are going to, versus just deciding for yourself that you're going to do it. Atif, most people are so used to breaking the promises they make to themselves. Like, I'm going to start on Monday. I'm
Exactly.
going to,
Exactly.
right? So you need help starting to keep those promises. Eventually, you're going to keep them all. But in the early phases, the first 3 months, the first 6 months, that's the danger zone where everybody starts and everybody falls off. So that's where a coach can help.
Absolutely, totally agree with your point, and it just it reminds me of the New Year promises. We all
Oh,
know
yeah.
we all know what
It's
happens
coming.
with that. We all know what happens
Yeah.
is that in the December, all the New Year resolution and till the mid January, 1 or 2 weeks, all vanished. So it's just like
Oh,
that, which you mentioned that most of the people they just break their promises, and when you are constantly in the habit of breaking your promise, eventually you lose respect for yourself, and
bingo. That's the main thing. So you're right. First 2 weeks in January, not fun to go to the gym. I'm still going to go, but it's not going to be too much fun. But then it's going to get easy again. I changed it all on June 18th. So just a random day, I woke up June 18th and said, that's it. So you can start today. You can start in the morning,
Mhm.
you can start anytime. But you said it. We need, so some people are able to change everything overnight. Other people need to gradually build up trust in themselves. So I'll give people a little secret that I use with my clients that are struggling with everything is we pick one new habit, just one, and we call it a non-negotiable habit. So they can choose the habit and they must do it every single day. If you do that, you are going to build up a tiny bit of momentum and self-trust, just like you said. Then we add another one and another one and another one, and your trust grows. That's what we need. We need you to trust yourself so that when you say, I'm going to do something or I'm not going to do something, you're going to keep your word, right? That's
Exactly.
what we need. People keeping their word to themselves. But this is a muscle that we work over time.
Exactly. And then when you eventually do one rep over one rep, then eventually you'll become that person.
Yes,
It will
sir.
become your personality. It's like a whole change of personality shift.
It
Absolutely.
does, and it can
Totally.
happen. And I don't care what challenge you're dealing with. I don't care how long you've had the wrong habits in place. With the right program, we can chip away, we can build that trust. And before you know it, you're going to address that big problem and be able to get on top of it. But it starts with you. You have to put up your hand and say, I'm ready to build some self trust, some self resilience to start doing the work.
Totally love that. Totally love that. So, Josh, before wrapping this up, I just have one or a couple of questions. First, any kind of transformation you have gone through with your client, if you want to share a story with us, with our audience, that what was the problem, if that's not confidential, and how did you transform their whole life? So, what was that like? Any kind of
So
incident.
yeah, so probably the best example is a client of mine that is a or was a casual drinker. So he was someone that drank on the weekends in social situations, but realized that he didn't want to do that and he was actually doing it because, he didn't want to let the people in his life down. There was an expectation that this is what he did with certain friends and even with family members. And but he didn't want to do it anymore because it wasn't supporting his health goals and it made him feel terrible. And so helping him eliminate alcohol from his life is probably one of my favorite achievements. Now we're working on vaping. Vaping's very difficult for people that are addicted to nicotine. That's a really
Mhm.
tough one. So there's more work to be done there, but he's making great progress. So that's probably my favorite. And then the others that are most typical for me are people losing weight. I tend to work with people. Probably the most extreme case is someone that was probably about 140 pounds overweight. And, so far we're down 40 pounds. But the most important thing is that person is telling me that this is a sustainable approach. and it's not a crazy diet. And a lot of people go on diets, they drop the weight and then they gain it again. What we
Exactly.
actually want to do is introduce a lifestyle, right? That is a sustainable lifestyle. And so that's what's happening with this person. We got more weight to go, but we're making great progress.
Absolutely, totally love that. Totally love that with that sustainable lifestyle thing, because we all see such type of ad: lose weight in 1 or 2 weeks, lose weight in 4 weeks. But then again, we know that more quickly they lose weight, the more quickly they again, just back to ground zero. So
Well,
absolutely love
there's a
that.
line that I like to say, which is you're the new life that you want, the new reality that you want is going to cost you your old life. You're going to need to change. It's not going
Exactly.
to be it's not going to be a little tweak and, oh, I'm just going to like make a little adjustment here and I'm going to get all my hopes and dreams. No, if you've got a big problem in your life, we need to change you. We need to change you, but it's got to be something that you can envision yourself doing and living every day forever, right? And so we got to find a way to get you there. And this is why I call what I do mindset training, Atif, because we need to get your mind wrapped around a new reality, a new way of being, right? And
Mm.
and so it's not just about a diet, it's not just about a workout program. It's about changing your attitude about these things so that you want to do them, you love them, and we can do that.
Exactly. It's about your new you. Basically,
Yes,
it's
sir.
about your new you. So
It's a
you change your,
rebirth. It's
yeah,
exciting,
exactly. Reinventing. You have to
Yes,
reinvent
sir.
yourself.
I
Totally
love it.
love that. Totally love that, man. And any top your lessons, any last advice, or any top your advice, the person who's been going through many things and who's hit the rock bottom and who have seen no light anywhere, is kind of in like dark tunnel with no hope. How did he
Yeah.
get up? How did he get up from that?
So this is going to be my advice to that person, okay? This is what I want you to do. I want you to set your alarm clock for 30 minutes earlier than you're waking up today. Just 30 minutes, okay? The first thing that's going to happen when you do that is you're going to do a difficult thing first thing in your day, which is drag your out of bed 30 minutes earlier. The second thing is we're going to prioritize just a few things for you to do just for you in these first 30 minutes of the day. So I want you to buy a book that has some positive quotes in it. So get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, go to the bathroom, and then go out of the bedroom into the kitchen. And I want you to read this book for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, just to put yourself in a positive frame of mind. First thing, you might be a little grumpy from waking up early. So let's read something positive and put a smile on your face. Then I want you to sit down in a comfortable chair and I want you to just think, what do I regret about yesterday? What were the mistakes that I made yesterday? This is, if you're someone that believes in God, I believe this is a moment where you're asking God for answers or you're asking your conscience for answers. It will give you answers. You don't get to choose what you regret. It
Mm.
will tell you, you shouldn't have eaten all that pizza. You shouldn't have talked to your mother that way. You shouldn't have slacked off at work for 3 hours. It will tell you that. And then today, you pledge to do a little bit better than yesterday. That's like we talked about before, that is almost like reflecting on failure, right? In sales.
Exactly.
So you're just reflecting, you're getting some answers that you can bring forward today. Do that for 3, 4 minutes. And then the last thing I want you to do is a little bit of exercise. So if you're rock bottom, way out of shape, terrible situation, maybe you're just going to do some body weight squats. Maybe you're just going to do some jumping jacks. Maybe you're just going to go for a walk around the block. But I want you to use your body. I want you to get your blood pumping and then on with your day the way that it was. But if you can implement this program for 30 days, I promise, I don't care how low, how rock bottom you are, your life will begin to improve. Prioritize you first thing in the day. You're the most important thing. You're responsible for you, nobody else. You are. So let's prioritize you first thing. It's a beautiful thing when you can do that.
Totally love that, man. Absolutely love that advice. And I just love that you said you are the most important one. This is the most important missing puzzle. for most of people. They just forget that they are the most important man.
Well, and
And
you know what? We can't serve others. We can't serve our family, our friends, our community, our country, our world if we don't start with ourselves. We must, the only thing we've been given in this world, the gift, right, from the higher power is your life, your thoughts, your actions. That's it. It's the only thing you can control. So let's start there. Let's start there. And then what's going to happen is you're going to big yourself up so much, all of a sudden, you're going to be able to give a hand to a family member. You're going to help out your community. You're going to be someone that maybe starts a business now because you believe in yourself and you know you can do it and you're in control of yourself. But it starts with you. So if you're at rock bottom, it's probably because you're feeling like a victim. It's probably because you're doing things that are self-sabotaging. So wake up 30 minutes early, prioritize you, go through those few steps. I promise it's going to be the first steps to change your whole life.
totally love that. Totally love that. It's just like you can't pour from empty cup. So you got to fix
Yes,
yourself first, and then you
that's right.
can,
Fill yourself up and then your cup overfloweth. You got it.
exactly. Totally love that. And Josh, the last question I usually love to ask from anyone. So, what is the legacy you are looking forward to leave behind that? What is that kind of
Yeah.
legacy?
So I want to inspire others to love themselves because if I can love myself enough, and this is what happened for me, everybody. Okay. So I started with the early wake up and running those same steps. I got myself right. I got myself into a good place. And then my heart told me, start to share your journey with other people. Now I'm sharing my journey with other people. I've got clients that pay me. I've got people that message me every day saying, thank you. You're inspiring me. I love this. But it's not about me. I want them to do the same thing that I'm doing. Love yourself and then inspire others. Inspire others. Let's just inspire the people that we can touch and then watch them improve their lives and then do the same for others. That's the only legacy. No matter how much money you make, no matter what experiences you have, those die with you. The only thing that carries on is the example of how you live. And so I want you to be proud of yourself. I want you to love yourself. And I want you to inspire all the people around you to do the same thing.
Absolutely love that, man. I really love that, and absolutely love that. And it's really a pleasure talking to you, Josh. And one podcast is just not enough talking with you. So I hear, there will be a couple of podcasts with you in future.
I'd love that.
And
I'd love that. I've enjoyed this conversation so much. Please, have me back.
it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. And once again, thank you so much for joining in, and hope you have a nice day.
Yes. And just a quick note I'll mention to your viewers, if you're interested in seeing how I live my life, my program every day, and maybe getting a little bit of inspiration, please follow me on Instagram. It's instagram.com/my name, Josh Flower, just as it sounds. And then the number one, Josh Flower one. You can see what I'm doing. You can send me a message. If you think I can help you, I'm here for you. So let me know.
Thanks again, and I'll put that in the description and from anywhere your Instagram handle, so that anyone
Amazing.
who can reach out to you. So
Amazing, Natif. Well, hey, I want to thank you for inviting me on the show. I've appreciated it. You've asked great questions, and I'd be honored to come back anytime.
it's my pleasure, man. It's my pleasure, man. Take care. Have a nice day.
Okay, take care.
Take care. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Till the next time, take care. Bye bye.